All right, what's good, everybody? What's up? You hollering at your homie, man. Hood Films, you served 2 times. All the brands, Rock Rodeo, you know what we do over here. Yo, I just wanted to holler at the boy Diddy, man. What the hell been going on for the last 2 weeks, man? I kind of like been trying not to have too much to say about it because you know how the industry and the internet changes. Like he could be in jail today and out tomorrow. But it looked like a lot has transpired within the last 2 weeks of P. Diddy's life. And all the things that he's been a part of just kind of crumbled overnight. And a lot of us saw it coming, but did you know it was going to drop like this? No. And does he deserve the stuff he's getting? Some would say yes, and some would say no. You know, you could drop in the comment section, uh, deserved it if he deserved it. At the end of the day, he set himself up for a downfall because of trusting people and having his own ills. And then being a celebrity for 30 years, that's kind of weird because you got to imagine people who were probably 30 at that time are 60 something today. People who were probably 20 are 50 something today, like me. And people who were probably teenagers at that time were probably early 30s, late 30s today. So it's not a lot of people who don't know who he is or don't know what he is. So what I mean to say is that you leave a lot of interpretation for people to be haters and mad at you, jealous, you know, have different feelings because their life might not have went in that direction. And then people who be around you is mostly the people that keep, you know, who try to make sure you crumble. And that's exactly what happened to him. So here's a person who could have done so much with the billions of dollars that he's made over the years, but it seemed like his victims are black people. He liked to get it in with black girls. He liked to get it in with, you know, little sexy little chicks and shit that ain't white. And so you can see why his antics fell under the radar so long, because if he was doing any of that to white girls, they would have busted Diddy out in the 90s. But all his victims are black people, so that means he don't really have nobody to check him and double jump in his face. So it took the white people a long time to start finally hearing a hoopla in the community before they started making a move. And he's been accused of some real serious crimes, you know what I'm saying? And he's facing 15 years and all that stuff. And it's just the iceberg of it. It's not even like everything has come down the pipeline. You know it's going to be a lot more hidden because when somebody as big as him, a lot of times people don't want to say so much because they think it might be him coming home and then they have to go back and look for a job again. And who you going to look for other than the person who is the person you probably was just prior working for or whatever. But, you know, it's deviant behavior. It really is. And for him to be a rich guy, you would think that he would be smart enough to know that, hey, man, whatever I do is going to be behind the doors. It's not going to be somebody else seeing it. You know what I'm saying? Like, you would think these guys could live like that, but they don't. They let it all hang out. It's basically like if you got a fetish or a friendship or something about you that want to be around them and they can find this out or hear about it, they're going to let you around them. And then they're going to get what they want out of you. And hopefully you getting what you want. And everybody be happy, but really everybody not happy. Because if you put yourself through scenarios where people are degrading you and pushing you down and making you less than a human, you ain't going to be happy with no shit like that. You're not going to just let that leave and go and say, oh, okay, it's another afternoon. You're going to be mad. You're going to look at that person with vitriol. You're going to hurt that person for feeling like they hurt you. And so P. Diddy got away with it because a lot of people couldn't fight him back. Multi-millionaire. Now, recently, multi-billionaire. So it's like hard to hit somebody like that. Then if you let you around him, more than likely you're going to be happy to be in the same scenario or area as him. You're not really going to come with a vantage point of trying to shut him down or stop him. But reality wise, he needed to be a lot more smarter because what they're accusing him of is crazy. He's arrested, indicted. They saying his music streams went up. You know what I'm saying? Because I seen some songs on there too. They was trying to suggest I play on YouTube, but I'm like, damn, they trying to make sure he make money while he in jail. And I even think it's like some kind of crazy ritual where you pay for this kind of shit. But you be so rich that the big boss gangsters come to you and say, oh, well, not gangsters, but the other rich millionaires come to you and say, yeah, you're rich, but you scared. You be like, scared of what? I bet you won't just tell the world. I bet you won't pay for a jail year or two. You're like, what you mean? We put out a fake statement about you. something that makes the people go crazy, and then they all of a sudden want you in jail. The feds kick in, the state kick in, they put you in jail for 2 years. You sit down, literally in the jail cell, literally in the position. Be vulnerable. Your stakes and all that stuff are hold steady. But you got to do this. This is what we all did. This the ritual or whatever. You know what I mean? It almost seemed like that because it's a lot of the rich people that's millionaires that none of that shit happened to. You know, people like people like Roman Polanski, who was been accused of raping a little girl as a filmmaker back in the day. Nothing happened to him. Woody Allen, who accused of having sex with his own kid. Nothing happened. Epstein, he finally got locked up, but somehow he was able to kill himself and escape prison. Nothing happened. Trump, he got accused. Nothing happened. So all these guys be getting accused and called out for all kind of crap, but it really comes down to them not ever actually having no repercussions. But then as soon as they call out a black guy, it's like jail ASAP. You go to prison. You do not miss. You go sit your butt in prison, and the guy got to go deal with that. So it's kind of rough to kind of stand and kind of breaking your brain because you just don't understand how the country and how the world works. It's kind of wishy-washy. Who they choose, who they go to, who they go through. It's not really etched in stone. You know what I'm saying? So you got a lot of people who get away with a lot of stuff, and they don't really go down as fast. And then you got people like the Diddy's and all that, who when it finally do come out on them or the R. Kellys, they get crushed. You know, and I thought R. Kelly was the worst. I said, this is probably the worst any celebrity could ever get. And then they pulled all this stuff out with Diddy. Oh, 1,000 bottles of this. And people are talking about Russell Simmons, too. Somebody at Russell Simmons camp told him, don't play with these people. If they gunning for you, they can really gun for you. So get out of here. He left town. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, they did the thing on R. Kelly where he beat the first case, and then it swooped back around where they started putting documentaries out, and he was able to still go down for his same crime from prior, but they just added a little more of this, a little more of that, making sure he went down. Now he's supposed to have 30 years in federal prison and shit like that behind that. These guys is like singing and musicians. They supposed to be who you wanted to be when we were growing up. You wish you could sing and dance and do what they do. You couldn't, you know, because that wasn't what your skills was. It was their skills, and they succeeded in that regard. But in my latter part of life, like now, I'm doing music. Why wasn't I doing music in my 20s? It wasn't around like that. I didn't have to connect. Maybe I wasn't as talented. But now I'm doing music. Now it's a lot more liberal. Everybody could just grab a computer and make some music. It's different. And you don't necessarily need the record labels like we always used to do when I was coming up. So you could just make music today, whereas you couldn't when I was growing up. So you see where somebody like those guys could actually crumble because they made the big mistakes. Those are huge mistakes to make. You know, having people at your house in your mansion, traveling people from overseas or over different states to come have sex with you and your girl in your house. These are major mistakes, but it's again the money and the fetish and the feeling. It's too far. Like they can't pull back. It's like, okay, I know I like it like this. I know I do it like this, but I can't pull myself away from the attraction of keeping it going. And this is where the problem kick in. Because now, if the police do come in your house, you got videos, you got paraphernalia, you got things that is relevant to that lifestyle you like to live, but it's supposed to be private. But when do you think the police gonna come in your house? Probably never. But then they do, and then it's like, oh shit, all your shit is revealed. So everybody got something about them that they don't put out to the world. I mean, whatever it is, whether it's private stuff, whether it's out in the open stuff, everybody got something that they keep kind of on the low about themselves. And I think that's the scenario when it comes to dealing with this. He should have been a little bit more smart, but imagine having goddamn planes, fucking yachts, motherfucking mansions, and now you sit in a jail cell, smaller than this room, and you only come out once an hour, and you sitting there all day and all night. And they came out with a rumor or a statement right away to myself. Oh, P. Diddy is, what's it called? He's suicidal, the S word, and he jumped back out. Well, through his lawyer and said, "Are you crazy?" And I said that would be dumb. because he's from New York and he is a black dude that been around all kind of street dudes for the last 30 years. I know he's not sitting in some cell now like, oh my God. No, that's not gonna be him. If R. Kelly, who is an R&B singer, ain't commit suicide, it's no way in hell, P. Diddy finna do it. Only because they know that one day they're gonna get out. These are millionaires. They know that lawyers and people are making moves around the scenes and behind the scenes that we wouldn't know and see. So they know one day this gonna be fulfilled. And then you see the vindication with Bill Cosby. So you can sit back now and be like, okay, I find his same lawyer and I'm gonna have to sit in here and do it. But they ain't thinking like, oh man, I'm gonna be here. I doubt that. You already a street dude. You already been in the hood your whole life. That it's tough. It's ugly. It ain't what you want. But it's not that. You know what I'm saying? So I don't believe no crap like that. But I do know that he gonna get out of there soon. So y'all let me know in the comment section what y'all think, and let me know if he should spend the rest of his life in there. Should he get out? What you think should happen to P Diddy? Let me know in the comment section. It's your homie. How?